This is pre-algebra lesson 5-7, solving equations by adding or subtracting fractions. You solve equations with fractions the same way you solve equations with integers and decimals. You use inverse operations and the properties of quality. Let's say one school recycles about 1/3 of its waste paper. Wow, we lost our fraction right there. That was 1/3 of its waste paper. Let's add the fraction 1/3 up here. 1/3 of its waste paper. The student council set a goal of recycling 3/4. Wow, I lost all my fractions in this equation. That's terrible. Okay, so one school recycles about 1/3 of its waste paper. The student council set a goal of recycling 3/4 of the school's waste paper by the end of the year. By how much does the school need to increase its waste paper recycling to reach its goal? Okay, so I'm going to let n equal the amount of increase. The fraction the school recycles now, plus the amount it needs to increase, should be the entire student goal. That should be our problem. So the fraction it recycles now, it recycles 1/3 now, okay, plus the increase, which we don't know what that is going to be, that's going to be the student goal, which is 3/4. So we have this lovely fraction, 1/3 plus n equals 3/4. So to solve this, we just need to solve for n, which in this case means we need to subtract 1/3 from both sides of our equation. And remember, this is the chapter on fractions, so you have to remember we need to get a common denominator because we're adding or subtracting a fraction. So the common denominator here would be 12. 1 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 1 times 4 is 4. So 9/12 minus 4/12 is 5/12. So the school needs to increase its paper recycling by 5/12. There we go. Okay. Let's solve some other equations. And simply remember that if they added, you subtract. If they subtracted, you add. And then you can just use the properties of equality and everything we've learned before. So y plus 8/9 is equal to 5/9. So if I want to solve this, I need to subtract 8/9. And I'm a big proponent, remember, of writing them vertically because it's a whole lot easier to deal with them. So I'm going to subtract 8/9 here. I'm going to subtract 8/9 here. These will cancel, and I'm going to leave left with y equals 5 minus 8 is negative 3/9. And negative 3/9 will reduce. So this becomes y equals negative 1/3. Number 2, 2/3 equals u plus 3/5. To solve for this, I'm going to subtract 3/5. These will cancel, so I will have u equals, no common denominator. So you might want to do that off to the side. So I have 2/3 here, minus 3/5. Common denominator is 14. 3 times 5, so 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3, 3 times 3 is 9, so 10/15 minus 9/15 is 1/15. Okay, so u equals 1/15. Number 3, a minus 3/5 equals 5 and 1/4. So I'm going to add 3/5 to both sides of my equation. Don't have a common denominator, but the common denominator between 5 and 4 is 20. 4 times 5, 5 times 5 is 5. So I have 5 and 5/20 minus 3/20. That becomes 5 and 2/20, which is 5 and 1/10. Except for I'm supposed to be adding those. Silly me. Let's look at that again. Instead of 5 and 2/20, we have to add those. They become 5 and... Oh, that was dumb. I can't keep 3/5. That's not a plan. Ooh, that was bad. Way back here. Silly me. 20ths, common denominator, I can multiply by 4. 4 times 3 is 12. There we go. That looks a lot better. So 5 and 5/20ths plus 12/20ths becomes 5 and 17/20ths. That's better. Do something with something not quite right there. All right, a few more problems. 6/7 equals x minus 2/7. So I'm going to add 2/7 to get x by itself. These will cancel. X equals 6/7 plus 2/7. I have a common denominator. That's always good. It becomes 8/7. So x will equal 1 and 1/7. Number 5, c minus 2 and 1/6 equals 5 and 1/4. So I will add 2 and 1/6. Common denominator between 6 and 4 is 12. That's the lowest one. 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 2, 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 3. So I now have 5 and 3/12 plus 2 and 2/12 becomes 7 and 5/12. So I get C equals 7 and 5/12. And last but not least, Z plus 1 and 1/3 equals 3 and 7/18. I will subtract 1 and 1/3. Common denominator between 3 and 18 is indeed 18. I'm going to do that down here off to the side. So I have 3 and 7/18 minus, let's see, 18, 3 times 6, so 1 and 6/18. So Z will equal 3 minus 1 is 2, 7 minus 1 is 6, 2 and 6/18, which becomes Z equals 2. 6 goes in itself once, and goes in 18 3 times. So 2 and 1/3. Solving equations using fractions is the same as solving equations by adding or subtracting decimals or whole numbers. The process remains the same. You just have to remember the process with your fractions of finding a common denominator. Okay, small mistake. Let's go back to problem number 6 here for a second. I made a boo-boo. 7 minus 6 is 1. It should be 1/18, not 6/18. I don't know why I wrote 6 up here. So this should just be, right here we should have Z equals 3 minus 1 is 2, 7 minus 6 is 1. It should be 2 and 1/18. I don't know why I put a 6 in there after I said 2, 7 minus 6 was 1. Always double check. I knew something didn't look right. Once again, solving not too bad.